So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me here again on another beautiful day. Another opportunity for us to share a song, make some music together. Might not be traditional music, but it very much feels like a symphony, like a constant love song as we're sharing back and forth the universe. I have my candle back in the room. I've been forgetting to bring it in. I light this candle with the intention of bringing the light of the friends who are not here today into this space. So even if you're not here, friend, the light that you put out into the universe is. Thank you. I appreciate you genuinely. Thank you for joining me again today. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about music today. It's actually a suggestion by a friend yesterday. And it's such a vast topic, and it's one that I feel is so big. Hey, Candace, thank you for joining us, my beloved friend. Music is a topic that is so big that it's almost impossible to finish speaking about it, and yet I've had this anxiety of, well, what am I gonna say? I have a bunch of things I want to say about it, but you know, the way we get into our own head. How are you doing, Candace? How are the girls? How is Teddy? Please do tell me. It's nice to have you here again. Hey, there we go, Naren. An art-related question. Intrigued. Has music helped you, Naren? You know, I think that's gonna be our intention. Just straight music. Like music, music has played a pivotal role in my life pretty much for as long as I can remember. I started listening to music as a 7-year-old. Like really listening to music, like listening to music by myself, you know, because I wanted to. My dad had one of these small little USB MP3 players that had this little cap on it, had this little wheel, you know, buttons, and then a little play button in the middle, and then you could plug your earphones in on the other side. And the very first band that I kind of got into is a band that my cousin, who was, I think, 15 or 16 at the time, gave me, and it was Sum 41. And there was something about their music that really spoke to me. It genuinely felt like they were, you know, singing for me, if that makes sense. And I guess that is just our pattern recognition. Just trying to find patterns, you know. We're like, oh, I'm going through all of these things, and this person is singing about this thing, and this thing is kind of related to this thing, and I can kind of see myself, no, 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 no. But the thing that's crazy to me is how that's kind of the intention of the music. You're supposed to kind of feel that way. You're supposed to get into this trip. You're supposed to go through a whole range of emotions and experience while listening to something. And I'm curious as well, because there is definitely, I think, a little bit of a divide, I could call it, in how much music is being made and how much music is being made with the intention to make people feel a certain thing. You know, a lot of the music that is popular right now, I think, has the general feeling of making you feel good, or hyping you up, or creating a sense of power. And that's a beautiful way to listen to music. I mean, it's crazy just the fact that we can listen to music collectively. Like, I can play a song in the room that we share, and because there is literally a pressure differential happening in the air that hits your ear, you and the friends that you are sharing that room with have a shared hallucination, you know, of these sounds, rhythms. And technically, you could say, you could go as far as to say, and I believe this genuinely, that all of us experience music differently as well. The way we experience music is quite literally a function of our neurology. If you look at your brain under the influence of music, you know, when it's being CAT scanned, for example, your brain lights up. it is significantly more neurologically active than it would be if you weren't listening to music. And music can inspire us to move. You know, if you're listening to really good music and you're in a good mood, you don't need inspiration, you don't need to know dance moves, you don't need to know anything. Your body knows how to move, and it does that. Then you can go into chords, you know, different chords have different emotions attached to it almost. So by listening to something or playing something in a certain way, in a certain tone, certain octave, certain, you know, like pace, you can create different feelings. You can set a mood. And then as a result of it being something that gets projected into our space, that mood is something that is shared. And then again, coming back to the point that it is something that's shared in a way that I feel is very similar to the same reason we do everything else. You know, the same reason we like eating food together, the same reason we, you know, drink alcohol together, the same reason we smoke marijuana together, same reason we go skydiving, ride bicycles, go skateboarding. We like doing things together, and in the doing of things together, you know, games as well, there is a sense of synchronicity that happens among us because we're doing the same thing. The state of consciousness we're in, facing our environment, you know, be it we're all listening to music, we're all looking into the same room right now, but there is this difference in perspective for each and every single person, you know, depending on where you sit in the room. So who you look at, whose faces might be accessible to you right in front of you, you don't have to turn your head. All of these factors, you know, playing into your perspective of just what you're seeing. Then your individual body, then your individual persona slash ego, and the story you're telling yourself in that environment. Then, you know, like what you might have eaten before in the day and how that is influencing your mind and your blood sugar levels. But then we can bring in this element that is music, you know, and suddenly all of these differences that we normally have as people amongst ourselves kind of almost take the back burner seat, you know, and we become more present with one of our senses in a way where everyone in that room can be present with that sense in the exact same way. And technically we do the same thing by watching, you know, shows together or whatever. We like sharing experiences, and music is just that. Another sharing of experience. Good morning to you, Pinesaurus. Thank you for joining us, man. Ninja Banana, thank you for joining us, beloved brother. Candace, I sent some messages. We are great, the girls are great. Teddy has a group now that he goes plunging with. Group of people that jump in a freezing river, and I'm busy growing a baby bump. Set the mood, play Scatman in a bar full of girls, giggles, and an audible attempts of singing like stop. Yeah, oh Scatman. What a machine. Music has definitely helped me, especially in my youth of depression, when my depression was at its highest slash lowest. Hearing someone else belt out how I was feeling helped me realize I wasn't alone in how I was feeling. Metal saved my life very much. For me, the same thing. I went through the exact same experience, Ninja. And it helped. It did help, but I feel okay, so tell me if this resonates with you. It helped so much during that time, and if I listen to the music now again, I listen to it very nostalgically and I'll sing along because of that nostalgia, because I'm so familiar with the lyrics. But the actual subject matter and, you know, things that were being discussed or being felt in those lyrics or in those, you know, pieces of music, I don't feel too drawn to right now anymore, at least. To the point where I feel looking at some of it like, oh, that's a little bit juvenile, if that makes sense. So in that way, it is kind of weird to me how we transition away from things as well. You know, we've been helped by these, you know, not potential, these songs. We've been helped by these songs, we've been helped by the artists that create them. We've been helped by just listening to the lyrics and feeling into our own experience in that moment. And then we move away from those things. And I wonder if it's moving away from because there has been enough healing, experience, interpretation had that you don't necessarily need to anymore. And it's curious to me how my music taste has changed. The reason I listen to music now is a little bit more with the intention of feeling with my body instead of just with my heart, if that makes any sense. I hope so. Binaural beats are also fascinating. Two tones played at different frequencies to create a third sound, which ends up resonating with different parts of our brain, which have different effects. So yeah, what Ninja is talking about there, you know what, I want to light this joint, Ninja, to music, to music. Music. So what Ninja is talking about when he's talking about binaural beats and these beats playing in different frequencies, so quite literally, you have two earphones. On the one earphone, you'll play a frequency of like, let's say 110 hertz. On the other side, you'll play a frequency of 112 hertz. Then in your head, because technically you have these two input signals going into your brain, and these two input signals are going into your brain are not matched, not synced up. Your brain literally creates, as Ninja said, a third frequency, 111. It will literally balance them out and try and find the midway. Creates a new frequency within your brain. And the crazy part about it is you can hear it. It's like you listen to these frequencies in your ears at first, and then the more you focus on them, it's almost like you hear this other frequency slowly tune into your mind. And then as that frequency almost becomes louder and louder in your mind, the original two frequencies that came into your ears become inaudible. And it is insane. It is so crazy that our brains can do stuff like that. And by doing it on purpose, I kind of like to meditate to some binaural beats in my ears. And then I also take them through different frequencies. Like I won't just have like one static sound, I'll move them up, and then as I move them up, I'll focus on like chakras, for example, and then, you know, this frequency is associated with this color. Think about the colors as they move up, and then these type of experiences create, it might be completely imagined, you know, it might be completely placebo, and I'm more than willing to concede to that as well, but it creates a building of energy within your mental space. And by the time you hit, you know, the higher chakras, higher frequencies, you start to have what you could call hallucinations or, you know, imaginations. Your friend's so curious. It's Christian's mug. A Slytherin mug. Please, don't kill me. I think part of it comes down to our connection to the creativity. Sometimes we need new exposures to that creativity to keep it juicy. Mixed to Death, thank you for joining us again, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. And thank you for your message. Thank you, that's beautiful. The connection to creativity. So it's fascinating to me that you say that. Today was very much a music day. You know, we listened to music for maybe 4 or 5 hours of the day this morning. And the music that I was listening to the most was Imagine Dragons, their new album Mercury. And I was, instead of just listening to the music as I normally would, I was looking at the lyrics. I had the lyrics open next to the songs as I was listening to them. And two of those songs literally flushed my entire body with goosebumps, to the point where it was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with the amount of goosebumps I was having, just listening and reading and feeling into the words this creator, this creative person is trying to put out into the world. And as you're saying as well, Mixed to Dev, it's inspiring. It's so inspiring listening to music like that, knowing that something like that is possible. You look at the creativity and it is inspiring. And it's crazy, like to me, what that inspires, the question rather that it inspires in me is how do I create art that inspires more art? Because I feel that's like the ultimate goal. Not even so much just the enjoyment of the art, but to create more, to literally create a ceaseless domino effect by just creating something. Hopefully, I'll get good enough as I get older to actually do that. Maybe I've already done that and I don't even know. Maybe all of us have done that and we don't even know. Have you ever had an experience like that where were inspired like that and you actually created something as a result of it? Experience by Ludo Vecchio Iunadi saved my life in more occasions than one. I don't think I've heard that one before. Naren, if you'd be willing, friend, please do send me the link of that. I would love to actually listen to it as well. Listening to you, see into your perspective, your mindset. Yes, sound, and hey Ryan, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's nice to have you here. I'm guessing you're saying yes, sound and music has been essential, has been your fix. In a lot of ways, music acts like a drug on us as well. Something that was extremely surreal. On the 31st of October, the last day of sober October for me, my friends were over the entire weekend and we had a special midnight planned where we were going to commune with aliens, experience dimethyltryptamine. And when we do stuff like this, it's a very serious affair as far as serious affairs goes when it comes to these things. We don't take it lightly. It's very much a respectful based thing where we value each other's company, we value the experience that we're potentially going to have, and as a result of that we are respectful going through it. And I set forth the intention into the group that we don't partake of any weed or something before this experience, and we go into it with a clear mind, and we all kind of come to that conclusion, make that decision, and we spend the entire day, the 31st, completely sober, listening to music. And we spend the morning basically setting up this playlist of exactly 77 songs. And we kind of hit that 77 mark, and I remark on that, and I ask, are we going to add anything else, any other tracks that you feel is calling out to you? And the consensus of the group is no, that's good, 77 is the right amount of tracks to have. We finish the stream up, we go up to this little, I don't know, like a copy, it's this place of a little bungalow, a little bit away from the rest of the people, very isolated, very much smack dab in the middle of nature, beautiful. And we put out a place to sit, and we watch the sunset, and it sets over these beautiful mountains that kind of looks, and it might not be the best and the most appealing way to describe it, but it has this head shape, then it looks like a torso, and then the torso looks like it runs into legs, and then at the end of the legs there's a little bump again, it looks like feet. It really looks like this big giant buried underneath this mountain, and it's gorgeous, and the sun is setting over that, and there's these shifts in colors that are absolutely amazing. And as we sit and wait there listening to this music, the playlist, 77 songs that we've set up for ourselves, we experience a psychedelic state of consciousness, just listening to music together, watching this sunset. and we remark on that, and the intensity of the feelings we have, we share together, we listen to one another's stories, our interpretations of what we're feeling, what we're going into, what we're expecting, how far we've come, what we're be doing, going forward into the future. And there definitely is this tune, in tune slash synchronicity amongst us as friends, because we're listening to these songs rather, in succession, having created this playlist together and with this intention of experiencing it in this way. And we go through this experience when the sun completely set, and like we're also waiting for the stars to start to come out. As the sun sets, you wait and you look for the brightest star, and then one of those stars can like peek through, and then you'll see more and more, and then suddenly they hits this point where you see a bunch of stars, and it's a beautiful process of just looking, seeing, feeling into the nature of reality of the stars. And we go through this experience looking at the stars, and when it becomes a little bit too dark in the spot that we were in, we decide we're gonna go to the little shaded area, or roofed area, if you will. We turn on the lights. Christian, and kind of like rallies us up, and during this rallying up, if you will, of us, we had like I think 3 songs that had a little bit more of a aggressive slash warrior-esque type of music nature to it, and we were getting really kind of pumped. It was like an aggressive kind of, I don't know exactly how to explain it. Maybe excitement. Excitement as if preparing for battle. That was kind of the vibe. We were listening to the Hun for it. Is it Hun? The Who? The Who. Sorry, like this Mongolian throat singing kind of metal band. A few of their songs, and getting all hyped up. And during this hyping up of ourselves, Christian brought some face paints, so we're like decorating ourselves as if going into war. We go through this whole process. It's absolutely amazing, painting ourselves. Each of us pick our own colors. We're not allowed to use each other's colors, but then there are extra colors. And we create these whole looks for ourselves, our warrior looks, if you will. We make ourselves a fire, and we're literally just dancing, dancing around this fire. And throughout this dancing experience, we share this intention to bring positive energy into this world, into the space that we were in that moment, into the sharing of friendship around the fire, as we've done for as long as we've existed. And throughout all of this, it's an extreme psychedelic experience. Not having drank anything other than water, we didn't even eat that much, up till that moment. Literally drinking water, this is the experience we're having, just with music as this medium. The fire kind of burns out. We get ourselves a little bit tired of the dancing. So we decide to go and put down a little laying area, and we're going to look at the stars. And we lay down, we have the speaker close, we're listening to these songs that we've curated, and we keep seeing shooting stars. That night, I've never seen more shooting stars in my entire life. We saw upwards of 15 shooting stars. And that was just, the ones that I saw and I counted, not the times that I had my eyes closed or was looking away or whatever, and hearing them talk about the shooting stars they've seen. And that's just for, I think, like the 2 hours that we were laying there, 15 shooting stars. And it gets a little bit closer to midnight, and we decide to start dancing a little bit. We have a few Psytrance tracks that's like on the list, and all of it is shuffled as well. We didn't cater any of it. It kind of just happened as it was supposed to happen. Really good tracks to dance to, plays at the end of the whole playlist. We kind of get into it, and 3 minutes to 12. 12 was when we planned on actually going through with the experience. 3 minutes to 12, our playlist comes to an end. Like, it doesn't have to be any more significant than it was a cool synchronicity again. And we comment on that, being like, we set all of these intentions forward. We curated an entire playlist of this music for us in preparation for this experience. And then instead of having to pause the music or having to skip forward, to get to a track that we really want to listen. We get to listen to every single one of the songs we wanted to listen to 3 minutes before we were not going to listen to music anymore. And again, it's this significance, this feeling of, okay, maybe we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We set our intentions again. We go to the spot that we plan to go through with the experience. Each of us, starting with Johan, then Christian, then me, have our experiences. And we come back from that with just this understanding and feeling into that this compound, this experience that we just had was, if anything, a highlight, like a little shimmer. But the whole object, the whole body of the experience was the time that we have as friends spent together around this medium of music, around this medium of tuning into the same consciousness, the same frequency, and how that was the significant thing that I was supposed to take away. Not so much the experience that I had, but just the love and the compassion and the camaraderie and the understanding and being able to be authentically human with friends. It is beautiful. Music allows us to do that. That's why we dance. I do believe we have Sensei here in chat, another friend who listens to a lot of music. Right, Sensei? Think about it. Think about how much music you've been listening to just streaming and stuff, dude. It makes us move. And it's impressive to me because you can dance to such a wide variety of music as well. I tip my hat to you, bro. I need a very specific type of, I think I need a very specific type of music to dance properly. Okay, sorry. Lost Boy Ian, music saved me. Sometimes when it's quiet, I feel like I'm drowning. And some of those times, I don't know what I would have done if some loving artist did not share their truth through music. Lost Boy, what a beautiful thing that is to say. And what a real experience that is, that we all have as well. Feeling like the silence, the time that we take to actually think, get into our own minds, can very much be devastating. And I especially remember my teenage years. It was so unanimous, so understood that I was dependent, I guess I could say, on music, that when my pair of earphones broke and I couldn't listen to music for, I think, something like 2 weeks, my dad literally, was telling my mom with urgency, we need to get Estian, a new pair of earphones, because this dude hasn't listened to music in 2 weeks and he's losing it. So I get what you're saying, Lost Boy. I feel you, my friend. How are you feeling now? How have you been these days? Are you still listening to music? Are you still listening to the same artists that you did listen to in those lonely moments? And how did they make you feel now? Naren says, the most beautiful moments in our lives are defined by the right song playing at the right moment, bookmarking said moment in the repository of our lives. Music is deeply linked to memory for me. So, that's the crazy thing about music as well, Naren. So technically, what you said, I want to just expand on that. Not only can we form these amazing memories listening to the right song during the right moment, but now, consecutively, as we listen to this song again, we experience that whole plethora of emotion through the lens of having experienced what came after it, and then using what came after it as a reference again to inform your experience of your past experience, listening to the song again. And then some more time goes by, and then you listen to the song again, and then it becomes this bigger and bigger fractal of complexity, of emotion and of experience that you've had listening to the same song. How crazy, how crazy is that? It blows my mind. Oh, it's flipping amazing. Woo! No! Thank you for joining us, Melita. Music is so important. It's the best, Melita. It's the best. Just hearing you say that, I think about the streamception thing. Music is something that has always intrigued me. Thinking back to the Civil War era before, you could literally march men to their death or victory with a song. Rhythm. Humans naturally have rhythm. I think maybe we live in rhythm with this reality. And music is just a very beautiful form of that rhythm. You know, you can just move. You can walk. You know, you can put your one foot down, put your other foot down. Create some rhythm within yourself. And technically, we have that doof, 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 doof inside of our chest, literally this heart pumping blood through our bodies, creating life, literally empowering you to be right now. This thing doesn't stop. Just think about that. Oh, my heart. Oh, I sure appreciate you so much. Working every day of his entire existence until he doesn't. Thank you. Thank you, my heart. And I wonder, and this is a conversation me and my friends have had, is our want for like bassy, thumpy music, especially if you're going to a music festival and you get to experience what music can feel like. Not just what it can sound like, but what music can feel like. There is something about the bass in that environment that makes you feel safe. It makes things feel okay. It gives you a sense of calm. And the theory that me and my friends have come up with is that there is something to do, that it has rather something to do with the time we spend in the womb, very close to our mother's beating heart, quite literally being encapsulated within the safe, perfect, technically, environment for a being to be in its growth process. And then we get to experience that base again in our outside world, this wave, you know, this thumping wave, in the same way that we had this thumping wave from our mom's heartbeat that's flowing over us, literally in ours, in the way that our mom's heartbeat was giving us life force as well, giving us life force, creating or inspiring the ability to move, to dance, to experience the music, letting the music go through you almost, letting yourself be a brush interpreter for what that music is supposed to look like as experienced through you. It's amazing, and I would highly encourage you, friends, if you haven't been to a music festival, and I would encourage a local small music festival more than I would recommend a big popular one. Like the best music festivals I've been to had like 600 people at them. Insane energy. You meet the weirdest people, and it's not too crowded as well. I'd highly recommend it, friends. If there's anything that you could take away from this stream, is go and experience music at a music festival. Not even for the music, you know, not even for the substances. A lot of people think of it as well, but for the people. You, the people that you meet at music festivals will blow your mind. It will make you feel seen. It will show you how it feels to be seen as a tree, you know, as something that's fascinating, as something that's beautiful, as something that is worthy of attention, instead of just you having to prove why you're worthy of attention. There is a fascination in that environment that is very beautiful, and it might be chemically induced, surely, but you get to see a part of humanity that goes very much unseen in our day-to-day lives. Even though we might have a lot of experiences with music, the environments that music can create is surreal, very much so. Deep music. Music is something that is always in. Sorry. It doesn't have to be music. An anchor can be linked to memories, but music is surely a common, powerful one. Anchors, any anchors, yeah, like smell, I guess, seeing the same thing, feeling something, the texture, for example. You can't attach memories technically to anything. I just think music has a sense of, how do I explain that feeling? Uh, it informs your situation. Is that the right way to say it? Music can feel like it's supposed to be in the environment you're in. You know, you can find yourself listening to a really good song, you know, driving on the highway, and you feel suddenly like you're in this alternate reality where you and the music and the current experience you're experiencing is one, and they go together. And you're like, you know, and that shit is crazy, dude. Like, there's not a lot of things that can do that for you. That effectively is insane. Thank you for joining us, Slag. Thank you. How are you doing, my friend? It's been a while. So much love for this. When I hear certain songs, it definitely pulls me back to that moment. Whenever, whether it be Andrew WK or the Backstreet Boys, it can take you to an exact moment, give you all of the feels. It's interesting you say that as well, Ninja, because I feel if you use chords in a way that you try and hit all of the feels, it's not really well received usually. Maybe if you do a contrasting of feels, but if you try and do all of them at the same time, it loses the significance it would have if you were going for a duality or a unity in experience slash feeling. I know that's, I'm just maybe pulling information where you were just saying something. But how's that? Like, do you agree with me? How do you feel about that? How have you been? So true. A lot of my memories that are so vivid are mostly these kinds of moments. Do you want to share any of them? We would love to hear, peek into your mind a bit. Agreed. Music for me provides the background for the hero that I am in my life's movie that I'm directing. There we go, Naren. You see, like, that's another way to say the whole unity. You know, I'm the director of my life. I am the actor in my life. I am the producer in my own head. I'm listening to this music now, you know, creating this environment. I am. You are. You are that I am. I am that I am. We are the I. All that I am is the I that we are. Music helps. Music helps create a little bit more significance. It helps us, again, tune into a different reality, a reality of creativity and inspiration that might be difficult for us to sometimes access on our own. On our own. Psytrance has been the music that have been tickling my fancy as of late. And I'm saying as of late, but it's been like 3 years. Just because I can dance to it. I can genuinely move to it like I can to most music. And I've danced to different types of genres as well. But I feel psytrance or electronic dance music in general, if there's not too many lyrics or messages trying to be put forth, and there is just a rhythm and a variation in that rhythm in the song, you kind of get to be even more of that storyteller. Where if you listen to music with lyrics, this person is telling a story, and you are, by listening, getting invested in that story. By listening to the words, it's like listening to the words in your very own head. Where with psytrance, the story in my head, the story in your head is always going, technically, right? So by listening to music like that and dancing, it feels like I can tell that story a little bit more authentically and be more true to myself in the telling of that story. And for that reason, I've had a hard time listening to music with lyrics. And then today, especially, like as I said, I listen to music especially for the lyrics because I wanted to feel the lyrics. And even though it wasn't my story directly, I could feel that story as if it was my direct story. And can you distinguish the two? That's the real truth. Smell might be the only sense that is more tied to memory than sound. Yeah, that's true as well. And I think that is usually probably because of our need to survive and know where food is and remember very thoroughly if we've smelled, for instance, apple orchard. I might be pushing it, exactly where very tightly in our memory that thing is to survive. So it might be for that reason that we remember so properly of our smell. Sound, again, for the same survival reasons. If we couldn't remember, what something could sound like and then be active slash aware enough when we hear something. Hey.
Can I borrow the pen?
Yeah, sure.
Got more?
Thank you. You could die, if you don't react to the little rustling of leaves of a tiger or a lion coming up on you, you die. So again, sound is very essential to our way of interpreting this universe and keeping ourselves safe. And then we technically hack. We hack that survival. And we do the same thing with vision. We definitely do the same thing with our ears and music, vision, and the shows we get to watch. We get to live other lives. More than ever, we get to live other lives. So many other lives. Think about the amount of lives you've lived. And you're like, oh, I haven't lived any other lives. So, if you've watched a TV show and you got to see different characters and you got to look into the world of these different characters, that is a story of people, And technically, if you weren't in that story of people living a life among that story, among those people, you wouldn't be able to experience it. Otherwise, you would literally be just looking at stuff, oh, and then there's people, and then they make sounds with each other. If you didn't get involved, get invested in that story, you wouldn't be experiencing that life. And then we do, and we experience so much. Think of how many lives we've experienced through the storytelling medium in comparison to people just 200 years ago. Like I think about the Romans, the Greeks, they had these theaters, and the stuff that they performed was very much rudimentary, and they had to use these weird masks to project their voices far enough. And those things were extremely popular, and the people who could do those things were very revered because they could tell stories in a way that people could experience things again as if for themselves. And we perfected that form, that capacity so well, in a way, or it makes me think of rather the movie Dave Made a Maze. If you want to see a movie that tells a story of the inner workings of a human being, like I haven't seen any other story tell it, go watch Dave Made a Maze. You would be astounded what we can do with storytelling. You would love it. Genuinely. Having a good morning coffee. Ooh, me too. Gotta get moving here. 2 more days, then we all get a nice weekend off. Hope you've been well and your charity drive is going great. Yeah, it's insane, it's almost finished. To you friends who don't know, to you friends who are willing to, please do go and help Sensei out, and help him reach his charity goal. It's helping kids that are struggling with mental health, and it's beautiful. If you have anything to spare, please do go and share. I would love that. Thank you. I don't need anything. Please do help. I always eventually overwrite those memories when I re-find some songs and I overplay them. There you go. As well as I'm saying, hey, fancy seeing you here again, sir. This Sword Noob, Tipsy Hat for you. Thank you for joining us. Go back outside. Mad for life. I'm gonna be outside pretty soonish. Maybe within the next week, you'll see me outside again. Woo! Looking forward to seeing you there, Mad for life. When you get no real dance moves, you can flay your body to anything. When you got no real dance moves. Exactly. It's insane. That's exactly it. But I don't have any dance moves. I just flail my body anyway. And I can flail my body to anything. But I feel my body flailing is very much in tune with Psytrance. Where if the rhythm is impeded by lyrics, for example, I might trip up or be out of sync, and that messes with my brain. It's like, oh, you want dopamine? No, fuck, out of sync, bitch. No, please. But if I can step on the beats, it's like, here, get dopamine. Oh, I'm sorry. Dopamine and maybe a little bit of endorphins, actually. Maybe some serotonin, is it? I mean, it could be a little bit of information you're receiving. Mm, I feel serotonin might be more directly influential in the amount of movements that you do, the amount of flow that you have, I guess. I flay my body to music as much as possible. Go get it, Zen, absolutely. Flaunting them beatboxing skills, no, it's insane. Like I've seen what beatboxers can do. I am like a small child playing with a controller that is not connected to the PlayStation, dude. And that's the amount of know-how slash ability of control I have over my voice. Damn, you can. I didn't know. Thank you, Nara. I appreciate the love. Playing music, wonderful too. It's a communication and a conversation. Playing with people. Mm. The heartbeat, the original rhythm. You got it as well, Zen. I was told my heart will go on. Your eye will go on. I'm not so sure about the heart. I mean, technically, the ultimate heart, the same ways. For me, that ultimate eye and then that potential heart, yeah, goes on. I agree. The core essence of what you are. The rhyme in nature is mesmerizing. I remember listening to EDM and watching the leaves blow in the wind. The leaves matched the beat of the song. I was possibly high at the time, but I have noticed the same thing happening more than once. It's synchronicity, brother Ninja. I don't even think it's us tripping out. Life is the trip. And the weird thing as well, the more you trip out about life, the more things life gives you to trip out about. It's like, oh, are you tripping out, bro? Man, that was a trip. It's like, oh, you think you're tripping out? Huh? Woo! And that can be done in many different ways. Oh, burst a tire on the highway. Have rocks flying past your head. Oh, your girlfriend leaves you. What are you gonna do now? Tripping out, huh? Oh, tripping out even more. Oh, lose your job. Oh, tripping out. What's he gonna do? Life does that, and it's in sync as well with us. Technically, it's in step with us. And then listening to music, we almost step into that step, right? Moving a little bit with it. It inspires us. Also, the rhythm of the universe, stars pulsating, rotating, planets vibrating, etc. Literally, every single planetary body has a frequency as well. It's because you're completely right, Zen. Thank you for joining us, Heather. So nice to have you here. Good morning. Music affects my mood greatly. What music have you been listening to that has positively affected your mood? Please do share, Heather. I'm working towards being okay. Thanks so much. I'm listening to those artists now, and also a lot more artists, but more for them grooves now. I listen to those songs now, and I feel overwhelmed by the power of music and the courage it took to share that. The courage it took to share what you just did with me. Thank you, Lost Boy. I appreciate that so much, my friend. We grow from these experiences. And if anything, we are the experiencers through which we grow. And these songs, these movies, these stories, these anecdotes are all just perspectives that we get to apply onto our own existences. You are the one that is strong, that is courageous, my friend. That is why we share in the way that we do. That's why we show up for each other. Because it is courageous to show up. Quite literally. We're not fighting the same type of battles that we used to fight, where we have to kill other human beings. Fortunately, and I know this is going to be the most millennial thing to say, but now we're killing the bad vibes. Right? We're trying to kill the bad vibes. We're trying to get racism abolished. We're trying to get separation abolished. We're trying to form communities that we know that we're safe in, that we know that we can share, that we know that we can be ourselves in. And I know that's exactly what we've been doing, friends. And I appreciate you so much for sharing this moment with me. Mel, I saw your photos from a friend. I don't know what that word is. I'm sorry, Heather. Happy 365. No. 356. Did I get it wrong on my title? If I did, that is my bad. Okay. Thank you, Heather. Sucker Witch was just sprinkling a little bit of chaos in my mind. No. Thank you, I appreciate it so much. Music triggers episodic memory, Ninja. Rhythm is primal. When people move together, it's powerful. Succulent, thank you for joining us. You're completely right. Like being on a dance floor together in that way, moving to the same rhythm, seeing other people move at the same rhythm. You look at them, looking at you, looking at them, looking at you, and you see, oh, you're in there, moving to the rhythm, and I'm in here. How did you get in there? Why am I in here? And it's you see how everybody is just kind of in this moment, and this is a real moment. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Is this happening? Is this happening right now? Is it happening? It's happening. It's not happening. You get to be there. You get to really just be there, and it feels safe most of the time. Safe, pending. Sometimes it feels safe. Sorry for my dyslexic comment. No, Sakura Witches was exactly the way it was supposed to be, because I was actually thinking about that when I was setting up the title. So I thought about it so much that I just inadvertently actually texted the numbers like that. So you tripped me up a little bit, and that is perfect. We can maybe do a dance move out of the stumble before we start walking again. Music gives me the strength to take my life back. Music saved me, so some songs have extremely fond memories for me. Ooh, I would like to listen to those songs with you one day, Insane. You can tell me more about that, dude. I am really into sacred instruments, sound healing, and sound journeys. I have had the good fortune to record many artists, and if anyone is interested, I share them here. Ooh, the sound of the soul. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much for sharing that. Please, friends, do go check that out. That sounds amazing. Can't go to music festivals. The plague. Oh, I forgot about that, and I literally had COVID like a week ago. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't listen to me. Don't you dare. I'm full of bad advice, it seems. Yeah, I guess it's still the plague. Freaking Omicron. I got the Omicron variant. It was bodily intense for like 2 days out of the week. It was like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit kind of feeling, and then it was like, oh, I'm feeling kind of okay, and then kind of, and then a little bit better and better and better. It was like 2 days of extreme pain though. Not so much lack of smell, lack of taste, but very much a bodily, heavily feeling, and I also didn't have any problems breathing, which I was also grateful for. VR music festivals, yes, Insane, thank you for the save, slipping the card in there. Thank you, I appreciate that so much, man. I agree. I think, VR music festivals will be a thing. It's probably already a thing. It's just going to become a little bit more normalized, I guess is the word. Even though I don't like that word, that's the right word. Love the channel, just checked it out. A big fan of what you are up to, I guess. Can I suggest instruments? The Beam, Mickey Hart. That sounds amazing. Thank you, Zenshine, for checking out as well. Music moves me, the words guide me. Mariah, thank you for joining us. How are you doing? How are the boys? Thank you for joining us. Genuinely, it's so nice to have you here again. What music have you been listening to? Oh my goodness, I love Mickey Hart. I don't know a Mickey Hart actually. Dancing to Captain Hook with a close friend on a small dance floor was a revelation to me on how much love there was and how much people loved me. It was a beautiful and precious moment. Oh, Lost Boy, I love you. I absolutely love you. Thank you for sharing that with me. That's the truth. That's the truth. We love you, friend. You're not alone. We're not alone, and we might feel alone because we're a little bit scattered. We haven't necessarily been able to find the people that we can genuinely be close with, the people that are genuinely going to love us as well, the way we are deserving of being loved, right? Huh? You are worthy of love. You are loved. You are worthy of love, and you are lovable. Is there another one I'm missing? I am loved, loving, and lovable. You're loving as well, friend, because you're sharing loving moments in this moment with me, and I appreciate you so much for that. I'm tripping out a little bit, yo. You'll see. I can breathe again, yes. Oh, sick. Thank you, oxygen. Hermes Plur. Like I'm thinking about the moments I've had like that as well, Lost Boy, where, as you were saying, you can have those revelations on the dance floor, like you can't, in my opinion, have it in many other places, where you realize in that moment just how valuable the experience that you are is. And it reframes our depressive thoughts, our wants to not be here anymore very differently for us. And I believe that perspective, although it might not be the be all, end all, cure all for what you're going through, it definitely can help. It can be, again, just another perspective for you to look through. Estian, the first stream I saw of yours was a dance stream, music like Agres, etc. I was mesmerized. It looks so freeing, and I've always wanted to go to a music festival as such, but there is something frightening to letting go, if that makes sense. Absolutely. Heather, that's why people hesitate before they jump off of planes as well. There's definitely fundamentally within us something scary about taking that first step. Maybe we can do it, in an organized way. Meltfest has been manifested for a while now. We're going to make it happen eventually. It might take 2 years, it might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, but I'm not gonna stop. Ever. We don't stop, friends. That's the only thing we have here. At least that's the only rule we have here. We get to share anything, we get to feel anything, we get to be angry, kick and scream, shout at the universe, why? But we don't die, okay? We don't die. We show up, we continue, we live for ourselves, we live for the ones around us. We don't die. Please, friends, continue living with me. There's so much worth to live for. Mickey plays with the universe, the brain, literally now. Such an ethno-musicologist. I didn't know that was a word, Zen. Thank you. He's really been a wonderful guide for me and many others, I imagine. Mickey Hart. I really want to listen to this dude now. Dave Made a Maze. Is that a movie title? It is. It is. It's insane. Dave Made a Maze. I think you probably found it if you search for it. Dave Made a Maze. Definitely worth the watch. It's amazing. It's insane. I think if you would be willing to watch that right now, dude, it might be very influential in your life, man. To donate and support children. Thank you. It's insane. Just posted the link. So to you friends on YouTube, if you're interested, bit.ly/help smile7. If you type that into your browser, you'll find the link. Laughter, the universal lyrics. to donate to support. Thank you again, it's insane. Likely, is the track title The Beam, or is it an instrument itself? The Beam is an instrument. Ooh, that sounds sick. Anyone ever hear the Crickets choir song? Someone slowed down the sounds of the crickets. Slowed down the speed of the cricket sounds, and it sounds like an angelic choir. Ooh, that's trippy. Oh, goodness. I just had this, like one of those, I don't know what you call it, like those frequency bangs that you get in your mind sometimes. Oh, that's trippy. Because they played the slowed down sound over the original recording of the crickets, and it's hauntingly beautiful. Crickets choir song. I have to listen to that right now. I'm gonna get myself another device. Christian, can I use your selfie on?
Myself.
Yeah.
Why?
I want to listen to something.
Mine's charged.
It's fine. Oh, my heart, my soul. No cell phones for us. I'm sorry, friends. I'll listen to it later, dude. That sounds amazing. There's a video on YouTube of a guy that stopped at a red light, totally geeking out because his blinker signal light was in sync with the song on the radio. It's synchronicities, and the thing about the human brain is we are built to recognize patterns, synchronicities, reoccurring things. And the more we see these things, it gives us dopamine. It encourages us. It's like, yeah, you see, you're seeing. Good, keep seeing it, see it more. Cool shirt, my dude. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. Yes, that was so fascinating. Forgot about it. Thanks for the reminder. Thank you for listening, friend. Were you vaxxed, Melt? No, Zen. I haven't actually been vaxxed, to be completely honest. Hey there, Scarnelia. Thank you for joining us. Hi. Hey. How have you been? How's the kids been? How has the whole situation been? You haven't actually shared any more of that. I've been curious. Been thinking about you. I mostly listen to EDM, but like you, I love anything I can dance to. Glass Animals, Imagine Dragons, 21 Pilots, John Billion, AJR. If you want to listen to some, good lyrics, those are definitely good bands to listen to as well. That I feel you could potentially dance to as well. Put the bra on, booty, Poppy P. No, dude, I haven't bride in a very long time. How long has it been? A few months. I'm looking forward to actually brying again. We're probably going to bry this Christmas. Christmas here in South Africa is extremely hot, and we usually spend it barbecuing. My eval date is coming up, and I'm getting more nervous about it. Surgery is likely given how often my hips partially dislocate, and the fact it's more uncomfortable than painful at this point means that nothing really holding them in place anymore. Can you at least spend a little bit of time off of your feet during this time before you're waiting for your evaluation date? And if it's that bad, are you worried that the evaluation is going to come back indicative that you can't get the surgery? Is that what you're worried about right now, Scarmedia? Please do tell. Ooh, 21 Pilots are just awesome. Dude, amazing. There's so many amazing artists. If I could meet anyone, any of my role models when it comes to music, it would be Menumas. He's a Citron's music creator. And it's odd for me to say that because I don't even know if we would be able to understand each other. He's from Israel. And none of his music has a lot of English in it. So I don't even know if we would be able to communicate. But the music that comes out of this man's mind has inspired me and influenced me, has made me feel things that not a lot of other tracks have. and it's genuinely inspiring listening to his music. If you'd be curious, man, you must. Damn, Scarmelia. Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's really bad. Like, what is that condition you said you had? The joint hyperflexibility. Hy- is it that? Is I think it's hyperflexibility, right? Hello, hot guy. Where's the other hot guy? Thank you, the executioner. Like, I'm just your mirror friend. You're probably hot as fuck yourself, dude. Wink wink flirts back. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, dude? It's been a while. Just ask STZ to translate for you. There we go. There we go. I'll definitely, have STZ and ARM being like, sure. Please tell this person that I freaking love them. Tell them. Okay, tell them again. How do I say it? Oh, I love you. I'm honestly nervous about the surgery in general. I'm told the recovery for ligaments and tendons surgery is literal hell. Also, I don't know how they be doing it. Will they be doing both hips or one at a time? Oh goodness, that is so much uncertainty. I get you. I get you, Scarmelia. We'll be here for you. We can't take your pain away or have your surgery for you, but we would be here for you to listen, to feel with you, to spend this time with you. Thank you for sharing this time with us right now. I would love to be a fly on the wall when Mel's doctor asks, how have you been feeling? And Mel explains the whole week of symptoms in that non-verbal vocal language. That's exactly how I would explain it. you know, um, I literally had to try and learn how to speak properly to human beings as a child. I spent so much time reading just to figure out how people are supposed to formulate thoughts, just so I can speak to people. And then I spent literally my entire primary school reading up until I was 13. And then when I was 14, one group of friends graciously allowed me to be friends with them. And there's a bunch of trial and error in that as well. I learned a lot. I'm still learning how to be human. Human being, I drink coffee, I'll make my bed, wash my clothing. yeah, yeah. So verbal, like, or at least for me, I think visually. So making sounds, communicating with body language a little bit is easier than words sometimes. Thank you, Heather, for encouraging it. It's called joint hypermobility syndrome. Thank you, Scarmedia, for educating us and making us aware as well. How are you doing? I'm doing well, Executioner. I'm doing pretty well. I feel optimistic. I've been maybe not feeling optimistic for a while. Not optimistic. Just kind of I was staring into the void. Let's phrase it in that way. And the void stared back, and I was like, bro. That kind of vibes, and it wasn't very pleasant for a lot of it, but I feel I'm now kind of on the other side again. The void has completely taken me, and I get to look at the light again. If that makes any sense. How are you doing, the Executioner? Doesn't matter. When they knock you out, wake up in a bed. I mean, I guess, but it would be nice just to know. You're so right, Insane. So, I'm thinking a bunch of things. First thing that's coming to my mind is Stoic philosophy. Determining which things are in your power, determining which things are outside of your power, and then aligning your sense of well-being, your current state of mind with the things that are inside of your power instead of the things outside of your power. Like, for instance, your heal time, your potential pain, your one hip or both hip potential surgery, all of those things are very much outside of your power. So realistically, it shouldn't matter. But I get that it's nice to know. And we all like knowing things. We think if we know more about a situation, somehow we have more control over it. But it's a fallacy. The more you know, you don't know. you know? you know, you know. Doesn't matter. No, I can't imagine how you're handling this, but I'm sending you all the love and light your way to make everything as smooth as possible. Please take your recovery seriously. It will be more important than the actual surgery. Completely right as well, Ninja. Some people push themselves or don't take care of themselves properly during the recovery period, and they end up worse than they actually started with. Been back. Hey Mel, haven't been here in a while. Just wanted to say hey, and I appreciate you. Been back. Thank you for joining us, for sharing this time with us again. How have you been? You say like you, I've missed you, of course. You know, you haven't been here in a while, like almost like 4 months. How have you been in these last 4 months? How's life been treating you? And if you want to talk on today's subject, what music have you been listening to? Yeah, they'll knock me out for the surgery itself. I'm more not looking forward to the recovering process. Scarmelia, I can't imagine that it's gonna be fun, but recovering is a positive word. Sorry, sending so much love. I hope all goes well. Thank you, lost boy. Everything will go fine, my friend. I bet everything is going to go great, and you're gonna recover quickly. You will if you believe you want to, right? I'm gonna recover quickly. You're gonna eat proper meals. Going to actively talk about how I'm getting better. Not, oh, I'm in pain. Ah, this sucks. Ah, I'm dying. Oh, kill me now. Oh, put me out of my misery. You know, we can feel that way, and we do feel that way, but oh, I'm getting better. I've been in pain, but I'm stronger than the pain. I'm going to, be so happy once I'm fully recovered and I can actually walk and, play with my kids again. Positive re-encouragement in your mental state and the story you tell yourself instead of putting yourself down, making yourself less. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Love laughing with Melt Fam in the morning. I have a place in my heart for all of you. And we have a place in our hearts for you, Heather. Thank you for occupying it right here at this moment. I appreciate you so much. Uncertainty makes everything so much worse. When I'm in those uncertain circumstances, I prepare for the absolute worst and I hope for the best. If you're ready for the worst, anything not that bad will be more bearable. Yep. That's what we do. And we think, again, with this fallacy, that because we've now rendered this entire potential reality in 50 different slices, in 50 different scenarios of how they could go wrong, and because we've done this and we've experienced all of these potential slices of reality, depending on which slice we get, if it's any better than the bad slices, we got a good deal. But we suffered eating those other slices, Maybe we're eating it with our minds, but we're eating it nonetheless. Thank you. What were you writing down?
Nothing important.
Okay. Uncertainty. You're completely right. Since Ninja. Sensei says, okay, found the movie, gonna watch after I shower. Take care, friends. Please do. And please let me know what you think of that. Please do let me know, Sensei, and I'm really curious of your opinion, man. Will you be immobilized after? Tell more. If you're willing to. Yeah, it's the uncertainty that bothers me so much. I'm hoping that both hips and I get it over with. I'll probably stream a lot more after the surgery. Plus, they have a reset. They have to reset how my hips sit in the sockets so that's gonna be fun. I may have to learn how to walk all over again. Probably, Scarmedia. I can definitely see that being a possibility, or even a genuine obstacle that you will overcome, that you can overcome. And I look forward to seeing your progress in that as well, my friend. Executioner says, I really like your hair, your face, your physique. While you're sexier than me, the executioner, bruh, this body, it's temporary. It's so temporary. And it's so temporary on the scale of a human life, on the scale of the universe. Don't even get me started, bro. And this little body is going to wither and melt away, bro, very soon. But now, in this moment, no matter how beautiful we are, we get to be. We get to look at each other. And technically, I just look at people's eyes. You know, you just look people straight in the eyeballs. And you see, you see them. And not everybody is comfortable with that. Sometimes I've actually been making myself more aware of the fact that I'm trying to stare into that person's soul instead of just breaking eye contact every now and then. Makes people a little bit more comfortable. It's also has something to do with our masculine natures as well. For some reason, if a female breaks gaze, the masculine mind is more attracted to that female that broke gaze rather than the one that keeps stays trained on us. More mental gymnastics that we have to jump over. There's so much that we have to take into consideration when we think of our consciousnesses, you know, like what we think of as ourselves. Like you, in this understanding you have of yourself right now, don't necessarily actively include in that story your, amygdala, the part of your brain that regulates your fear responses, or the way that your prefrontal cortex, handles information, the way that but your ability to articulate your fingers, for example, influences your ability to move through space, use things, and how that influences your experience and how that experience influences your story of yourself. There's so much complexity going into what we are that the story we tell ourselves of ourselves is such a limitation. It's the biggest limitation. And it's crazy. It's really crazy that we tell ourselves limiting stories. You, the executioner, gorgeous, dude, just as you are. You don't have to do anything. You are the sexiest man. Can you learn guitar at the same time? Ooh, that would be pretty impressive. I mean, I could. Why not, Scarmelia? I mean, if you're gonna have time off of your feet, might as well learn an instrument, huh? Will do. Thank you, Sensei. This is me looking for something positive to add to the negative. Right? I feel it's definitely valuable. Thank you, Shell. I mean, Carmelia gets to keep her legs. Exactly. That's already a good thing. His legs, sorry, I meant to assume. It's completely okay. Yeah, I would devs add a fun hobby to learn at the same time. Like if you don't want to learn how to play the guitar, which can be a little bit taxing, get into beglery. It's insane. It's like this little thumb chucks. Imagine. I think Sensei can definitely see what's going on in my hands, in my mind right now. But imagine there are two little bowls with a string in the middle of them and I'm flicking them into my fingers. You can try that. That looks a lot of fun. You can learn how to do that. I would highly recommend this as a potential instrument as well. Little kalimba. Not as taxing on your fingers. You kind of get to play it with your thumbnails. Love it. It's very forgiving as well. So even if you don't play perfectly, it's still going to sound pretty bearable. We're encouraging you. Scarmelia, you're going to get this. You're going to heal fast, I'm sure. They're in the same hobby. Honestly, overall, the surgery is a good thing. It will be life-changing in so many ways and hopefully keep me on my feet for at least a few more years. This will be the first in a series of surgeries to keep me walking. Scarmelia, you got this, my friend. You got this. Maximize our time. I'm female though, it's all good. Do you believe in God, my friend? I believe. Also, I'm a girl. Oh, thank you for letting me know, the executioner. So, when you ask me a question like, do I believe in God? My initial response is, the conceptualization I have of God, yes. But the traditional Christian Judeo idea of God, no. And that's the most basic of ways that I can say it. And if I get a little bit deeper into what I believe, is that the fundamental thing that we would consider God, ultimate awareness, divine mind, perfect imagination, if you will, is the very thing that we are experiencing right now. Parcel every particle would be encapsulated within that divine mind. And then that divine mind's ability to witness, to see, to experience that which it is imagining would be what you are. And that is the godness of you, the executioner. That's what I believe. The simplistic way of interpreting it or explaining it. I'm not saying it's the truth. I can't know. Nah. Maybe one day I'll know. Ironically, I don't even think we're gonna know when we die. We think we're gonna know, but why do we think that? I don't know anything. But I know that love is true. That's the only thing that I can, with some confidence, say is the truth. Love. Huh? You here? Argue with me? Put me a sly? I would love one. Please. I was thinking about learning to play the piano. Do you have access to a piano, the executioner? That sounds amazing. Have you listened to Sumiruna? Just the music that he comes out with, and how the track builds up to the climax is just mind-blowing. Sumiruna. No, I don't think I have, friend. That sounds amazing as well. Lol, yeah, I could. Yeah, that's insane. I know. I know. But I don't have good enough hands to, well, I don't, what? Guitar, kalimba, saxophone, bagpipes. It's all good. It's all good. All of it is good. Maybe a little ukulele. I'm just extremely biased towards the kalimba because the way that I learned how to play that instrument, I had it next to my bed, and before I would go to bed, I would, put down a few bars. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I would just play a few chords, just go for it. See where the music takes me. And I'll sometimes get so into it that I'll be busy for, 15, 20 minutes, just constantly picking, going from one rhythm to another, experiencing different melodies. And it's very fun. I feel it is one of the most forgiving and free instruments to explore in technically a small environment. And it's soft. It's very soft, so you won't be disturbing people either. Also, I sell what I make, unsuccessfully. But I do. Scarmelia, don't say shit like that. Don't say shit like that. You can say, at the moment, it's not going as well as I know it will in the future. And this might be just me trying to judo mind trick you, or whatever. But genuinely, saying stuff like, oh, unsuccessfully, I'm doing this thing. It takes your power away. You're the one in power, Scarmelia. But because you're the one in power, I also respect your divinity to experience life as you are. So, no matter what you do, I'm still going to love you. One morning brew, long time no see. Snoo, how long has it been? Not that long. Like a month? No. 2 weeks? How long has it been, dude? It's nice to have you here again. Music helps me not think too much sometimes. Music can also make us think things. I've had these experiences where I'm feeling a little bit gloomy, and then I listen to music that's gloomy, just to gloom even more, get even deeper into it. Holla to you, friend, genuinely. Shell says, oh, I'm doing that now with Simply Piano. It's awesome. With Simply Piano. Is Simply Piano an app or a service or a brand? I'm mildly confused. Sorry, Shell. I might look into something cheap to start though. Something else I can do while sitting. So the nice thing, I'm being a salesman for kalimbas right now. The nice thing about the kalimbas is they're relatively inexpensive. I think $60, maybe even maybe even less than $60 for a kalimba. I think you pay almost the same for a pair of thumb chucks. At least upon checking, since saying I checked, dude. It's like $60 to $120 for a pair of thumb chucks, and I was like, oh hell no. Oh, I don't have that kind of money. I'm gonna make myself some instead. And I technically, I'll I'll know for sure a little bit later, but I would like to make some in a lathe actually out of steel. I might bruise myself, beating myself to bits with them, but we'll see if that actually realizes. Day four of Simply Piano. You can play. Okay, I guess it's a like maybe some sort of progress based thing that you can go with. Day four, almost like one of those language training apps, I guess. Simply Guitar is $150 a year. That's still more expensive than I can afford, lol. I can't think of anything that's going to be more affordable that you can do with your hands sitting down. You know, not that your phone wouldn't be able to give you more entertainment out of, unfortunately. Little pockets of dopamine. Swipe, swipe, dopamine, dopamine. But we do have diminishing returns. And depending on what we look at, we will get rather a bad potential hand. And I've seen myself do this as well. I'll find myself, seeing something on my Reddit feed, and it might be something of like anti-work or just some sort of grievance, and I see this grievance, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go see what this grievance is about. And then I see this grievance, and I'm like, oh, and then I get out of there, and I'm like, and I'm like, wait a second, why am I doing this again? And I'm like, okay, calm down, dude. How about you calm down? You take a breath, move on. We become what we observe, friends. Do you smoke hashish? No, I just smoke bud, my friend, like straight flower. Simply Piano is a fake piano learning app. It kind of became a meme. Oh, I didn't know that actually. That's crazy. Maybe stream ask for us to chip in. Why can't you ask for the present you want? There we go, Scarmelia. Maybe that would be the idea. Like set up a $60 fundraiser for a kalimba that you would use on stream. I'm very sure you'd be encouraged to do so. Oh Mel, just for you, I'll look into a kalimba. Yes, but only if I can find a green one. Green is my favorite color. Green is my favorite color. Takes my favorite color. My favorite color. Oh, I love you. Thank you, Scarmelia. Green and purple are my two favorites. It goes green, purple, red, yellow, blue, orange. I feel orange should be higher up on the list now. Maybe actually so high up. I completely forgot about orange for a second there. Maybe it goes like green, purple, orange, red, and the rest down. Yeah. What's your color combination, friend? This is okay. So instead of that, scratch that previous question. This is the question to ask, and it's gonna be a tricky one. If you were a triangle with a bigger triangle over it and a bigger triangle over it, can you see it, right? What this color on the very outside is the color you show to the world. This color in the middle is the color you show to your close friends and family members. And then the color in the middle is the color that you only show to yourself. What are those colors? I believe my outside color is yellow. My middle color for friends and family is green. And my my center color rather, would be purple, almost dipping into galaxy purple, like a deep purple, if you will. What's yours? What's yours? Oh, my favorite Beglery set is my Hexanut set. Cost me 5 cents. You see, now that is affordable. I have 5 cents, dude. I have 5 cents. I don't get. Thank you. Send me a link or like instruction to do that, please, dude. Coach, you still alive? Aunt B, thank you for joining us. It's so nice to have you here. How has your day been? Really good. Quiet, and yet we were listening to a lot of music. There was almost so if we like me and my friends speak about 20,000, maybe 25,000 words to each other a day. Today we did like 1,000. So it was a very quiet day, and we listened to a lot of music during this quiet day as well. And it's been amazing. It was really amazing on beat. How was yours? I found a green one. For 25 bucks on Amazon, I'll order this after the stream. Yes. 25 bucks for a green kalimba. You're gonna love it. It's Carmelia, especially if you're going to like keep it close. You know, if you're going to be in a certain spot, just have it like in arm's distance. And if you're going to be on stream, you can just kind of like make some music for yourself. It really is a fun instrument to play. Green is also my favorite color. Green, orange, yellow. Okay. So, green is bigger than orange. Orange is bigger than the yellow. So, the yellow is your inside color. Orange is your family color. Green is your outside color. I didn't do any fancy knots or anything. I just took a shoestring and 4 hexanuts and tied a knot at the ends. That sounds very doable. So, do the hexanuts hurt? You know, that's my next concern. If you're flinging them around, and you can like build up some momentum with them. How heavy are they? Maybe that's the question I should ask myself. And how much impact do they make if they hit you? Awesome, thank you for participating, it's insane. Like, the thing that really fascinates me about that question is looking into someone else's mind of how they perceive their energy distribution. And weirdly enough, and think about this now, there's almost in certain communities, in certain circles, a right answer to that question. And since Nelson the dog is here dropping some wholesome on the stream, I want to ask you this question again, Nelson. If you had a color in the center of you that you only show to yourself, a color around that you only show to your friends and family members, and then a color around that you show to the outside world, what are those colors? Would you be willing to share about the bear? I'm curious about the inside colors of the Nelson. The Nelson dog. Headsnacks definitely don't hurt, but early on I drilled holes through bouncy balls for my homemade sets. I guess that would work as well, right? You can just get one of those cheap-ish rubber balls, bouncy balls. You can buy like from these basic crazy stores or toy stores for something like, what is 5 rand in dollars? A third of a dollar? I'm sorry. Oh fuck. I want to share colors too. Repeat the question. Shock. The question is, you have a color in the middle of you that you only share with yourself. A color around that you only share with family members. And then a color, family members and close friends. And then a color around that you share with the outside world, with people that you don't know, strangers. Like, what are those colors? If you'd be willing to share. Like, it's a fascinating question, especially so if you're being asked it at a festival. And like, I'm happy that I'm asking it again before I share. And I'm sharing it only purely from this perspective of, how does this make you feel? Because the person that shared it with me, after me sharing my internal colors, wanted to tell me what the right answer to the question was. And I was like, bruh, get the fuck out of here. Don't fucking tell me my answer is wrong. So, like, you can think about that and feel like that as well with me. Lime green on the outside, on the inside, black, purple, bronze, white. Is that too many layers? Might be too many layers. White, green, yellow. So is it white outside, green middle, yellow inside, or is it the other way around? Okay, got it. Let me think. Wait, I'm patient, Shock. I'm so patient. Ooh. Straightening your legs after having them crossed for so long. Oh, oh, the relief that's flooding over my body right now. Okay. 1 is crimson, 2 is crimson, 3 is gray. That's a very interesting answer. 1 is inside the most. Okay. Crimson, crimson, crimson. Am I stupid? Do not? Isn't crimson like a quality of a color? Is crimson an actual color? Is crimson red? I am stupid. A little bit stupid. I'm sorry. I know what the color crimson is. 1 red, 2 purple, 3 blue. I see that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Nelson. I appreciate you sharing. Crimson is a red. Okay. Thank you. I'm happy that I wasn't that far off. When I said it, I was like, that sounds right. But I was like, bro, shut the fuck up before you embarrass yourself. Okay, that's amazing. So reds. Reds on the insides, reds with your family members, and then kind of gray on the outside. So what does it take? Does it take being friends with you? Or do you willingly share that red color feeling with people when they kind of approach you? So the question I'm asking, is it gray for the outside world always, even if a stranger approaches you, versus just walking in the world and being taken at face value without having to talk to someone? What color are you? I'm blue. Don't get me started. It's insane. Hey Heather, thank you for joining us, my friend. Oh, Kira Burr. I've already said hi to Heather. Thank you, Kira Burr, for joining us. It's so nice to have you here. How are you doing? I actually have a candle lit for you today. It's so nice to have you here. Much love to you, Kira. I had a girlfriend, and she was. I had a girlfriend, and she was so blue. Stop! I'm getting brain damaged right now. I'm like getting flashbacks to me as a 11-year-old listening to I'm Blue, being like, this shit slaps. This is a freaking slapper. Listening to it on my, I can't remember the model number of the Nokia, but you could transfer songs by placing the infrared sensors next to each other. Imagine explaining that to our kids one day. Yeah, we could transfer music to each other by lining infrared sensors up to each other and then letting those two communicate via little lasers. Dad, take your medication, please. We have Wi-Fi. Shut the fuck up. Everyone on the outside would be gray. I don't care who it is. Me and my family and friends, red, and everyone else gray. Thank you for sharing that, Shocker. I appreciate you being open and kind of red. A little bit gray with me, but just I see red kind of shimmering through it a little bit. Come here, come here, Shocker. This brings a whole new meaning to that song now, though. The meaning to that song brings, what song exactly are you talking about? You're talking about the blue. Yeah, exactly, Sensei. That's the trip, dude. That's the whole trip. What color do you want to be for the world? You know, and that purple that I feel inside, again, you know, as we've mentioned before, educates the yellow on the outside. With the amount of love and bright I want to give the world, I'm trying to do that from this having looked into a very painful state of mind and understanding of reality. And then the green part that I have of my family and my close friends is this compassionate love and encouragement to grow. And sometimes I can be a little bit bright, you know, with my encouragement to grow. And I know, and I'm trying to work on that as well. I am. I just really like seeing people grow. And I like seeing people seeing themselves grow as well. Mm, the middle is churning, boiling rainbow on pitch black with gold sparkles. Ooh, Shell, thank you for painting such a beautiful picture for me. Mine would be gray for outside, purple for friends and family, and a bright turquoise for me. Purple for friends and family. I feel that. Thank you, Heather, for sharing that as well. The outside is determined by the viewer. You are right, Shell. I mean, it's determined by the viewer to some extent. You know, depending on the light that you try and put out into the world, it will affect. So, okay, think about it again on the rainbow spectrum. If you feel slash believe that you try and put out a certain spectrum of energy into the outside world, and someone witnesses you, even if they don't hit the exact color that you feel you're putting out into the world, they won't be completely on the other side of the spectrum. They'll be close, you know, maybe like one or two colors away from the color that you think you're putting out. And in that way, I feel, even though surely people's interpretation of what we put out into the world can differ. Ooh, goodness, I'm tripping myself out thinking about what I'm saying. It can also be informing of them, you know, by the energy that they're putting out, it might influence the energy that they see in you. And that's the trip. The outside is determined. Mine would probably be blue on the outside, green in the middle, and pink in the middle with red bleeding through. Ooh. So if you get really close, you're going to get a lot of security from you as well. At least that's the way that I'm interpreting it. Give me your wisdom, hippie. All out of wisdom. Oh shit, bro. Please, don't take my life. I have a scarf. I have no wisdom to give, but you can take all of my other shit. I'm joking, dude. I don't have any wisdom, dude. We just share. We just share and feel in these places. I don't know any more than you do, dude. Pink in the center. Yeah, pink in the center, and then like on the edges of the pink, there's like red almost like bleeding into the next. Okay, gonna watch the movie now. I'm all itchy from the shower, so I'm throwing away this phone. Thank you, friends. Talk to you again later. Love you! Love you! It's insane. Go and enjoy that movie, Brother Bear. Like, do tell me what you think of it. Like, watch it from the perspective that I'm trying to share, especially here as well, dude. What we're trying to do. And I know you will. I love you. Go and enjoy that thing, dude. You said green in the middle. Which one? Nice, Jericho Shock. Thank you, friend. You rock. No, you, Doom. No, you. You just see what you have within you as well. We're just these infinite mirrors to one another. You know, mirror on this side, and then it gathers into like a little single point, and then becomes you. And in that way, we're constantly involved in this infinity. Everything you see in me is within you as well, friend. I love you so much. Genuinely, you mean the world. I have no clue what you're talking about, but I like understand. Kira's like, what? Inside. I love you, Kira. Thank you so much for being here with us. We love you. We love you. The question was, and maybe I'll leave it for us, you know, if there's any of us that haven't heard it before, ponder this question for yourself and the implications of that. If you had a color in the very middle of yourself that you would only share with yourself, what would that color be? Then, over top of that, if you had a color that you only show to your close friends and family members, what color would that be? And then over top of that, the color you show to the outside world, strangers, what color would that be? And that's the question, you know, like what energy, what color do you think you're putting out into the world? And upon thinking about that and saying it out loud, making a distinction, does that inform the way you want to move forward? outer blue, middle green, center pink, red bleeding like lightning from the center. Ooh, okay, so the very center has red bleeding like into the pink. Okay, I get what you're talking about now a little bit more. Thank you, Ninja. Okay, got it. Love the inner color. Thanks for catching me up, brother. Thank you for being willing to be caught up, Kira Burb. Now it's your turn. Tell us. Yeah, I have to wait. Kira, I have to wait. I have to hear your colors. I'm putting out churning rainbows so they see what they are drawn to. Maybe just, okay, so it's crazy that you're saying that, Shell. And I'm gonna wait for Kira's answer and then I'm going to share what apparently the right answer is supposed to be. And I'm not saying it's that way, I'm just saying it makes sense why they would think that. And if anything, it can inform your decision making about those colors as well. And even knowing the right answer, I still choose not to go with the right answer just because that's the way we are sometimes. Hello, friend. Good to see you, hear you. So many colors. Smile echoes. It's been a while, friend. Thank you for joining us. How have you been? Leprechaunus! I don't know what that means, Shog. What? Leprechaunus. Oh. Don't laugh at me for missaying leprechauns. Don't. Stop it. Stop laughing at me. Stop it! Oh, goodness. Oh, my heart. Okay, done cringing. Stop it. Stop remembering the cringe. No, stop. Oh, pressure. I can't think. All I see are grays, whites, and robin egg blue, but white. Okay, so thank you, Kira Burb. That's apparently the right answer. The inner color is supposed to be white. Because if it's white, it is literally the all-encompassing color that, or all-encompassing spectrum that encompasses all of the other colors. That is what white light is. So, wow. Kira Burb, thank you for sharing that as well. Even though I know that, I feel you can go into the other side with the same kind of power. You know, like going into a dark purple that almost has these very dark, almost black galaxy vibes to it, right? Technically, in the same way, it creates that contrast, it creates that lack of encompassing of the spectrum. And then as a result of that, it encourages me to try and see more of that spectrum in the outside world. And it's a back and forth. And it very much is a middle way thing for me as well, you know, where the color I try and share with my close loved ones is green. Like it's very much smack dab in the middle, our heart chakra, the compassionate parts of ourselves, the parts of us that love one another. Blue is a very important one as well, in the way that it encourages us to listen effectively and speak with articulation in a way that people can understand and feel with us. And then purple is intuition and insight. It's why we've been drinking out of a purple cup this entire year. You know, even if it doesn't give me intuition and insight, just the intention of drinking out of a purple cup with that energy, that feeling behind it, inspires me. And now this cup has a name. This cup's name is Ermias Plur. Ermias Plur. Ermias meaning God uplifts, Plur being the acronym for peace, love, unity, and respect. So God uplifts, peace, love, unity, and respect. Every sip we take from now on is going to be informed by that. I appreciate you, friends. I appreciate you so much. Neframe, I appreciate you. I like black as well, dude. I went ahead and ordered it. It will be here tomorrow. Goodness, instant shipping. Tell me what you think of it. Maybe even stream you playing it. I think you would enjoy it, Scarmedia. Like it would not take you longer than a week to get good, if you will. What is red and gray? I guess a lot of things, dude. Like the first thing coming to my mind is a fire truck. Shock surfer. What is red and gray? Oh goodness! Oh, 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 sorry about that. I just accidentally went to the homepage. Friends, I am going to say goodbye for today. Thank you for sharing the space with me, for talking about music and inadvertently about colors. I feel technically these things are very much in tune with one another as well. If you look at the scales of music, it has a lot of synchronicity with the frequencies of colors as well. We are experiencing music. We are the directors, the main characters, the orchestrators, the creators. You are it, friend. You don't need anything. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to ask. You are. I love you for what you are. I appreciate you for what you are. And I look forward to seeing you friends again tomorrow. Goodbye. I love you. Love you so much. Goodbye. Bye. Bye, my friend.